Hey guys, it's Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. Got a little acoustic guitar lesson for you today. We're going to learn how to play I Will by the Beatles. It's on the White Album. So this one's got some good chord work like a lot of Beatles stuff does. And it's got some fills in it too that we're going to take a look at. The fills are actually done pretty much on electric guitar a lot, but we'll do them on acoustic, doesn't really matter. All right, so let's start here. We don't really have a definitive chorus here. It's mostly just verses and a bridge section. But the verses are slightly different each time, so we're going to go through it like that. I just now played through the first verse, and there is a series of fills at the end of it, which we'll also cover. So let's just go through these chords real quick. We're going to start here. We're in standard tuning, and so you're going to do a lot of bar chords here. Great workout. The rhythm, first of all, is very easy. It's just a simple eighth note strum pattern. So we're just going to be like, say you just hold any particular chord here, like this A minor chord, and you just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it keeps a very consistent down, up feel throughout the entire thing. All right. So let's start here with this F major bar chord. All right. So now that's going to be played for 2 beats. So when you're doing a downstroke, that's the beat. So down, down. So the upstrokes are in between the beats. So down, up, down, up. That F major bar, if you don't know that chord yet, it's full bar of the first fret, second fret on the G, third fret on the D, third fret on the A string. Then you go to a D minor chord. Same thing there, rhythm-wise. Then to a G minor 7th chord. So that's going to be a bar at the 3rd fret with your 5th fret here on the A string, and then the 6th fret here on the B string. Really nice chord. So we have this so far. Now from there, we're going to go to a C dominant 7 chord, but instead of playing it the old common way, we're going to play an inversion of it. So what basically that means is we're going to change the note that's in the bass. Instead of C being in the bass, the C7 chord, we're going to move that note over to the G on the low E string, so it's a C7 with G in the bass. So it makes it a second inversion C7 chord. All right, so just so you know what that is, that's the 3rd fret there on the low E string. The 5th string is muted by the bottom of that 3rd finger. Then the 2nd fret on the D, 3rd fret with your little finger there on the G string, and then 1st fret on the B string, open high E. So far we have now back to the F and D minor. Now this time we're going to go, instead of to the G minor 7, we're going to go to the A minor chord. Alright, so from there we're going to go to an F dominant 7 chord. So it's just like this F chord you had. Pick up your little finger and now lay it at the 4th fret on the B string. If you don't like playing that note, you can actually leave it out. And it's still an F7 chord, it just doesn't sound like the album. Alright, so it's close to the album. So let's just go through these first 8 chords. Alright, from there we're going to go to a B flat major chord. So that's the 1st fret here on the A string, 3rd fret across the D, G, and B strings. So you can play that with your 3rd finger there. Or I like to use my little finger. Most people don't, but. Or you can just play each one with an individual finger. Then back to that C dominant 7 with the G in the bass. And back to D minor. And then we're going to play an F major with A in the bass. So how we're going to do that is, instead of playing the full F major chord, we're just going to play that bar on the top 2 strings at the 1st fret, then the 2nd fret on the G, and this 3rd fret on the D. And now it allows us to use this open A in the bass. So those 4 chords there from the B flat. Alright, we're going to continue here with the B flat to the C7 again. And now we get to the part where the guitar licks come in, which is just really kind of a turnaround to go back to the beginning of the verse. Now these chords of the turnaround, just these 4 chords, are just the F to the D minor, to that G minor 7, to the C7. So those are the first 4 chords we saw. So let me play that whole verse real slow for you. It goes back over to start over that whole series of chords. So that's one time through the verse. Now, like I said, those last 4 chords has a little guitar lick over them, and that guitar lick sounds like this. All right, so what's going on there? We have across a D minor chord at first, 1 on the high E, 3 on the B, 2 on the G. So you can see how there's a 8th note into a 2 quick little 16th notes. Then back to the first fret on the high E and let it ring a little bit. So we have this. Then you get to the 3rd fret there on the B, and then we're going to do a quick lick from there. That's 1 on the B, and then move over to the 1 on the G string, hammer 1 to 2 real quick. So let me do the whole thing in time, but really slow. One more time. All right, from there, we're going to have this. All right, so that's just 1 on the high E, and then 3 on the B, 3 on the G. All right, and then we're going to go back to the 1 on the high E, back to the 3 on the B, back to the 3 on the G, and once again, end it with a quick little 1 hammer on. So all together for both licks. All right, so then we start the second verse again. Now the second verse is the same as the first pretty much, except for those last 4 chords. Instead of doing those last 4 chords, which before were just the like that with that little lick over it, it's instead of doing that, it goes to it starts with an F just for 2 beats, and then goes to an F7 that we actually already learned that chord, and then that takes us into the bridge. All right, so now there's a little guitar lick there too over those last 2 chords of that second verse, but that's really kind of leads you into the bridge. The bridge has a little guitar line that goes over the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is show you the chords for the bridge first, and then we'll go back and take care of those guitar lines. All right, so here's the bridge real quick. Let me play it through it. Takes us back to the third verse. So let's start here. We're going to start with that B flat major chord we did earlier. 2 beats, still get that same down up 8th note feel. 2 beats of it. Then the A minor 7 chord. Now how are you going to play that? We're going to play just an A minor chord, but pick up your 3rd finger. So it's an open G string in there now. Then to a D minor and a G minor 7. So you should know all these chords by now. Then a C7 with a G in the bass. And then that F to the F7. All right, so it's kind of the first time through the bridge, so I'll play through it real slow again. From there, back to that B flat major, and the A minor 7, and the D minor again, for 4 beats there. Now instead of going to a G minor, we're going to go to a G major. Just a standard G major bar chord. It's just like that F major bar chord, 2 frets higher. 4 beats on that, and 4 beats on the C7. Alright, so here's the whole bridge again, one more time. So let's learn those licks. We're going to first do the line going into the bridge, and then we'll play the little solo that's over the bridge section. So here we go. Takes us back into the third verse. All right, so let's go through those licks here, similar to what we did before. So that's 1 on the high E over to the 1 on the B to 2 on the G. Now 4th fret on the B string, then 3, 1. That quick little hammer from 1 to 2 again. So we have this. Alright, and now we're actually in the bridge section, and this is pretty easy in the beginning. It's just 3, this is on the G string here, 3, 2, each one of those held for 2 beats. 3, 2, then 3 on the B string, then 0, 1 on the high E. So that's just 1 beat each for each one of those two. So we have this. Back to 3 on the G now, then 1 on the B, and then we're back to that same lick we did coming into the bridge. So it's the exact same thing there. And then we have the 3rd fret on the G, pretty much the same thing we did earlier. And now we're going to change it up a little bit. 4th fret on the G, then 3rd fret on the high E, and then so what's going on there? You're going to use picking fingers here, so a little hybrid picking. Pick the G string here with downstroke, and then your middle finger will catch the top note. In this case, on the high E string. So 9th fret on the G, 8th on the high E string. So pick those together, slide down 2 frets, pick that, and slide that down to where we have 5. You can't really slide them both into the notes because you're going to slide down to 5 on the G and 5 on the high E. Pick those, slide down to 3 on both strings, then pick this again, and you're going to pull off. That's kind of a good little independence exercise. You're pulling off 3 to 2 on the G while you're playing 3 to 1 on the high E string. So you got to hold the 1 and 2 back here, 2 on the G, 1 on the high E, and then pull both of those off. Alright, now let's get to the 3rd verse, which has a little bit different ending than the first two. So it sounds like this. so what's going on there? So we have a lot of the same thing, but when we get to the B flat in this third verse, we just do that B flat major to the C7, D minor, and then go. All right, so that's third fret on the G, and then fourth fret on the A string. Play that together. Once again, you can do hybrid picking, and we have move that down one fret, and then repeat that. One more time. You're gonna add this chord after those two. The third time through, you're gonna add 2 on the A, and then 3 on the D. And then you're back to regular chords again, which were to this G minor 7. 2 beats, then the C7. Then you're gonna take that same shape what we played before with the G in the bass, move everything up one fret. You're still muting that A string. And you gotta mute the high E string now too with the bottom of your first finger. 8 beats of this D flat 7. Then to an F, 6 beats to an F7. All right, so from that, coming out of G minor, C7, and then the D flat 7, 8 beats, F, 6 beats. Now 7, 2 beats, then the B flat, A minor 7. So this is just kind of like the bridge section right here. So we have this D minor, 4 beats, G minor 7, C7, and F. All right, so let's take a look at the guitar lines over that last verse. So let me play through them real quick. So a lot to learn here. So we coming out of that last little, one guitar goes to that G minor 7, and the other one goes to the 3 on the G to 1 on the high E. Then move everything up, those up 2 frets, and do that again. And then we're to 1 on the high E, and then 4, 2 on the B. Back to 1 on the high E. Then 4, 2 on the B again, over to 1 on the G. So we have this. All right, from there we kind of start the same way, except there's that 1 at the end basically has a hammer to the 2 again. So far the. All right, now from there we have 1 on the high E, then 3, 1 on the B. Back to the 1 on the high E string, then 3, 1, and that hammer once again. So that measure, and then you pretty much start to repeat that again, except this ending is 1 on the high E, 4 on the, it's 4, 3, 1 on the B. So let me play through that, just all that whole section, all 4 beats there, so just so you know where the little quick licks are at, so you know you have something to practice along with. So here we go. All right, now from there it gets a lot easier. Then just 3, 2 on the G string, and then 3 on the B, and then 0, 1. You saw that earlier in the song. Then 3 on the G, 1 on the B, to an F major chord. All right, so there's a lot of stuff to learn there. A lot of cool, nice chord changes. You know, works with bar chords, and some cool little lead licks to do. So especially if you have another guitar player to play with, you guys can get that together. It'd be a lot of fun to play. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.